Difficult to score. Difficult to find a winner in this round.
Relax, relax. You see, he wanted to counter, right? You know he was going to do that. He wants to do the jabs to see if you'll jump in. You got to flex your waist and go. Be careful with that uppercut. He wants to catch you with that uppercut. If you're gonna go in, you gotta flex your waist when you go in and start touching him to the body. Flex the waist here, right? Not so much with this feint because you're opening up for this, okay? Better this way, okay? But close up that guard too. Jab more.
Interesting in that first round, fellas, in that Daniel Jacobs seemed to have the better jab, but Canelo's hands, Chris Mannix, they're fast and explosive.
They're extremely fast. He might have the fastest hands in the middleweight division. I thought he used that effectively when going to the body.
Round 2 scheduled, of course, for 12. It's the middleweight championship of the world. Interesting feeling out process. Chris Mannix, you're trying to score this fight. How would you score round 1?
I gave it to Canelo. More impactful shots, but an incredibly close round that could probably go either way.
Copy box stats, 4 of 20 for Canelo. 8 of 32 thrown for Daniel Jacobs. Again, I think the harder shots were landed by Canelo. Now they try to get a little physical. Forearm to the neck from Canelo Alvarez, keeping Jacobs away. And he is pinpointing that right hip, the left hip, Sergio, as well. If he can't quite get him to the body, he'll whack him on the hip.
Jacobs is looking to counter punch. He's trying to catch and counter, but Canelo's not giving him that opportunity. Just too sharp, too fast.
Tries to come in with a hook right away, feinted with the jab. Canelo looks confident, looks calm. Jacobs, though, has also found his rhythm in this fight. Hasn't been able to land too much. But again, this is what it is at the highest level. Good jab there by Canelo Alvarez.
Yes, it was. Stabbing jab to Jacobs' body.
And another one, and it drives Jacobs back. Got him off balance. Good jab again. These are scoring shots. It is something when you watch Canelo Alvarez, at times, good body shot there, wicked hook to the body of Jacobs, that he is able to box and just make a man miss. Just actually traditionally do, the defensive boxing stance and style.
They both try to counter to the body right there, but Canelo got the better of it.
Now they trade inside and Jacobs able to land.
Jacobs landed a good body shot himself right there, so it's give and take, both going back and forth.
Lots of drama here in Las Vegas. No fireworks as of yet, but it could happen as a right hand lands by Canelo and another. Canelo is consistent.
Stop.
He's defensively responsible. His punches are always tight and crisp. That is very difficult to deal with. Wow, great combination there by Jacobs. Answering as Canelo went for the hook again. Good straight jab by both. We are in chess match territory at this point, Sergio.
This is a chess match, but it's a dangerous chess match.
Both men ready to uncoil and launch. Final 10 seconds of round number 2. Interesting so far. Sharp jab by Canelo. Tries with a wicked uppercut. Did not quite connect, but there is menace in the air.
Both fighters missed with home runs right there. If one of them lands, I would like to see how they cover it.
Slow it down. Okay. Gatorade. All right, that's coming to Gatorade. Listen to me very carefully. Open that up, Mike. It's coming, son. Oh, give him that bucket, Mike. Give him the bucket so he can spit.
Hey, that bucket can't come up.
Right.
It's got loose ice.
Okay.
It's right under you, bud. Right here. Right here.
Bucket in front of you, baby. Nice and relaxed.
Hey, that bucket can't come up here no more.
All right. When you get slow.
Hey, Albo, look at that bucket. Let's go. Not be sitting. Not be
Interesting round number 2. Chris, how'd you score that?
I gave that fight to Canelo, that round, I should say, to Canelo Alvarez as well. One thing about Canelo, he's been on the positive end of a lot of close decisions in his career. Erislandy Lara, Austin Trout, Gennady Golovkin. Part of that is his shots are very easy to see. He's very accurate with his power punches, and that makes it easier for the judges to see it out.
That's an excellent point, Chris, because in that last round, in round number 2, as Canelo was landing a beautiful hook to the head, Jacobs landed a hook to the body. But what did I call? The hook to the head. It's easier to see, and it's also easier to see by the judges. Danny Jacobs moving to southpaw once again. What do you think of that tactic, Sergio?
It's a smart tactic because he fights really smart as a southpaw angle. He dropped me with a right hook with a southpaw angle. And he got Gennady Golovkin's attention as a left-hander too. So if he can get away with it, that's a good thing.
There's a hard right hand to the body on Jacobs. And you see when Canelo is able to connect, he drives the entire body of his opponent back.
Jacobs doing the smart thing right there is holding on.
I rarely see Sergio, good hook to the head and a right hand from Canelo. I rarely see a guy naturally right-handed, orthodox, turn southpaw, and then have great success. It seems like, a gimmick most often. I rarely see a guy going, oh, that's beautiful, going back and forth. Do you see that often?
Well, I would do it just to give my opponent a different look, but I wouldn't really fight off that southpaw stance too long. But guys like Daniel Jacobs, they have the power and the speed to be able to punch and get a knockdown from that angle.
Yeah, but you have to be really disciplined. 4th round of the Golovkin fight, he switched southpaw, and that's when Golovkin caught him and put him on the canvas.
Good point.
Caught him a bunch of times too in that. Wow, strafing combination by Jacobs. Beautiful. Jacobs with a nice explosion there. Midway through round 3. Jacobs, by the way, was once the golden child. Canelo is the golden boy now, but Jacobs was a national amateur champion, New York City Golden Gloves champion 4 times, bolted to a 20-0 pro record, and then the surprising KO loss to Dmitry Pirog. Shortly after that, a cancerous tumor on his spine, and his life was never the same, but he is back all these years later and fighting with a belt, by the way, but fighting for the middleweight championship of the world. He's been through a lot in his life. Good work to the body there, going in with the hook, digging in, and now Jacobs finding a rhythm.
Canelo blocked that right hand, but it's still effective. I'm telling you, Daniel Jacobs, even though you block those shots, he has that brute strength and that brute power. You still feel it.
And yet a lead hook from Canelo, which is extremely dangerous. Again, and if you're scoring this fight, I believe we have very good judges, experienced judges here tonight. Same judges that were judging the fight the second time around for Canelo and Golovkin. And they are going to have to try to total all of these shots up, the scoring blows. Another interesting championship round. A lot of celebrities here. Usher is here. This is the event, described as the boxing event of the year. Canelo Alvarez now owns Cinco de Mayo. Of course, the Golden Boy is here as well. Oscar De La Hoya, multiple division champion and Hall of Famer. Promoter as well, of course. Promoter for Canelo Alvarez. And you have to know that Oscar De La Hoya loves being associated with Alvarez. B-Hop is here, the executioner middleweight champion of the world. He has the Joe Frazier look tonight. When he walked in, I thought, it's Joe Frazier. The top hat and everything. This as well for the middleweight title. And a fascinating fight so far.
Brian, you think Bernard Hopkins would have handed over a check for almost $1 million?
Oh, my goodness. Not for $10. And if you offered him $10 to lose a pound, he'd say, make it 20. Round 4. Hopkins, of course, owns the longest streak of title defenses at the middleweight division. One of the great champions, and you can trace the middleweight title from Bernard Hopkins right to Canelo Alvarez. Round 4, Sergio Mora, what would you tell Jacobs' corner? Like, what would you say that, hey, do this, and it might lead to more success against Canelo?
What he's doing now, he's jabbing. His corner must have told him to jab. I would like to see him paw at the jab with different timing, different speed. Jab the body as well. That's going to open up something because Canelo is walking him down now. He's looking to come around with a left hook.
It's a good point, too, because when Jacobs is jabbing, Canelo's offense is stunted. Yeah, and you're at least the other jab. Lots of jabs, nothing landed. However, Canelo is moving and not punching.
And it sets up right hands like that just barely miss. You can also throw that right hand downstairs, but the jab starts all that.
And look, that's good defensive work by Canelo Alvarez. There's no question. But if you can keep him from winging hard shots your way, you're gaining the advantage.
And that was one of my big questions coming into this fight, because Golovkin is a big jabber. Daniel Jacobs is not. Would he be able to do it consistently enough to keep this type of pressure at bay?
Over the top with the right hand. Tony Weeks with the warning.
Listen to me, here we go.
See, that's what I like to see from fighters. Jacobs hit him a little bit behind the head. Canelo didn't complain. He just returned the favor.
Yep. Both men are clean fighters, but you are fighting. Canelo tries to go up top, change his eye level, and then hits him on the hip again. I wonder if that's going to lead to a little less movement from Danny Jacobs later in the fight. You get that hip whacked on all night. Good, clean right hand from Canelo Alvarez.
Canelo just barely missed with a big right hook. Excuse me, right uppercut.
Good head movement again by Alvarez. The champion in fine form. Calm, moving forward and landing. He has his hands full.
Those are the power jabs that he landed against Golovkin. Those hurt. And if you could come around and get your opponent to bite, you can turn that into a left hook. That's exactly what Canelo's trying to do.
Jacobs trying to stay active. Slightly discouraged Sergio from just touching him with the jab because Canelo is moving his head so beautifully right in front of him.
Canelo has great head movement, and they worked on that recently. He doesn't need to move around the ring with his feet. His head movement has been brilliant in the last couple of fights.
This is fantastic defense in this round from Canelo, and he punctuates it with a jab. Look at him slip all these shots. The hardest thing to do in the ring, make the man miss.
That is a beautiful display of defense on Canelo's part there.
Wow. And there is Maverick Carter, and again about Canelo Jacobs next Saturday right here on DAZN. Executive producers Maverick Carter and LeBron James. And all the behind-the-scenes footage here on Fight Night Championship Fight Night, round number 5, middleweight championship of the world. It has been fascinating so far. Canelo Alvarez with beautiful defense there in round 4. Chris, how did you score that?
I've got it 3 rounds to 1, 39-36 for Canelo Alvarez. His accuracy is the difference in some of these rounds, and his defense has been exceptional. Danny Jacobs just can't seem to get enough punches put together to make an impact on Canelo.
And Canelo continues just to slip punches beautifully. It's almost like an exercise in the ring, Sergio, when you say, hey, just slip and hit. Just make this guy miss. But look at this. He continues to do so. Floyd Mayweather style.
His head movement and waist movement has been exceptional. And you can tell they worked on that, but he's doing it while going forward. That's so hard to do. It takes confidence to do that.
And counter hooks as well, landing to the body. Hard hook as he advances. Trying with hooks as Alvarez starts to get into his rhythm.
Canelo coming forward, being defensive against a power puncher, trying to get foot positioning for he can land those explosive combinations.
Coming in, looking to slip and then answer. And then he smells that advantage, and Jacobs, if he's not punching, he'll take the lead. We heard in the corner of Canelo Alvarez, Sergio, that they were telling him 2 punch combinations. 2 and that's it. We don't see more, just 2 at a time. Why would that be?
Well, because Jacobs is probably trying to land something in between, catch Canelo, who's the faster fighter, in my opinion, in between a shot. But right now, they're fighting for foot positioning. If you notice, if you look at their feet for a second, Canelo's inching his way in. The closer he gets in, that's when he can land the massive power shots.
Jacobs looking just to paw with a jab, and Canelo not bothering to slip those shots, almost as if, hey, if you're not going to really throw it, I'm not going to move. Interesting. Again, you can see the slipping, waiting to slip and counter.
See, right now, Jacobs is hesitant of throwing his power shots because he knows how crisp Canelo is countering right now.
Canelo touches him with a jab, gets Jacobs straight away, lands again. These are scoring shots. Not huge shots, but scoring blows are the name of the game if you're judging. Putting rounds in the book. Another sharp jab, and that landed as well from Alvarez, and a right hand from a jab. Going to the body with the jab.
And those are power jabs to the body, both of them. Canelo returned it with a left hook to the liver there, but those have a stinging effect. It looks like a simple jab, but they're power jabs.
That looked low. Daniel Jacobs landing right on the belt. Nothing from Tony Weeks. You get the sense that Daniel Jacobs is going to have to change this equation because this is Alvarez's fight.
Well, he started like this with Golovkin, so maybe he's looking to take this fight into the middle and later rounds.
All right. Take a deep breath, reset.
That was good.
This is it. It could be better though, because you're waiting too long for it. When you get your jab going, you hit that close, let it go downstairs. All right? Don't worry about
That is
his head.
Nate, Daniel Jacobs' son.
Slow the little man down.
Big part of 40 days. You watch that series here on DAZN.
Okay? We don't want them thinking that he's working just a little bit more. We're not going to go to the end of this fight thinking that we didn't do just enough.
Okay.
So keep those combinations cutting quick.
Okay.
And then don't wait for him after you finish.
Okay.
When you finish, you get back on your jab and you turn him again. Let's go.
Arms and shoulders.
Looking good,
Arms
but
and shoulders.
You gotta work.
You have to love that from Andre Rozier in the corner. Yeah, don't leave it that, hey, we just didn't quite do enough, right? You can box the rest of the way here, Sergio, and go through this fight and say, well, I thought we boxed well, I thought we deserved this decision, but you're not going to get it if you're boxing this way.
Beautiful instructions by Andre Rozier. You don't want to get beat by a little bit. Just he did a little bit more. Stay behind the jab, and even if it's one punch, you got to do 1, 2, 3 punches after he's done punching.
So Jacobs would have to come out of his shell. He'll have to move again, have to change the equation somehow. Some CompuBox numbers through 5. Canelo outlanded Jacobs 60-43. And I would venture to say that the harder shots also being landed by the middleweight champion.
You know, we wondered coming in what style of fight Canelo Alvarez would take. And he's taking a lot of the same style that we saw against Gennady Golovkin, coming forward, being the aggressor.
Yeah, what Canelo has going right now is working. Methodical, stand right in front of your man, wait for the jabs, make him miss, occasionally explode, and land. And he's winning these rounds. That hook touched Canelo Alvarez on the jaw.
See right there, Daniel Jacobs turned southpaw, and he missed that punch. That's the one that he caught me with. He dropped me with that punch. In between those shots, he turned southpaw, and you don't even know it, and the power punch comes from a left-handed angle.
Jacobs' corner had told us that they've seen Canelo fight several different styles in his last few fights. So they were saying, hey, we're going to have to initiate. We're going to have to go after him. We cannot wait and let him gain his rhythm.
See, there's Jacobs turning southpaw again. He's comfortable in that angle, and he has power with that right hook from that angle. And a southpaw with a right hook, I say it all the time, is the most dangerous thing in boxing.
So you would advise him to do that now? You think he could be more effective? Or you're saying slide back and forth and catch him in between?
Well, listen, I thought it was a bad idea when he did it against Golovkin, but he had success with that. And he, like I mentioned earlier, that's what he knocked me down with. So why not? Give him this different angle. Give Canelo something different.
Let's see if he has any success with that right jab. So far, that's really not much of a stick, Sergio, so far from Jacobs with that right hand. See, it's just more slapping from the right side, just not as strong, not as natural.
Yes, it's not as natural. It's not his natural position, but still has a lot of power, especially in that right hook.
Canelo stalking and throws a hard right hand when he got Jacobs in the corner. Oh, he could sniff that out, Sergio. You could see. He was right above us, and when he got Jacobs in the corner and he has him there again, he is ready to launch.
The thing about turning southpaw when you're not a natural left-hander is your defense is what suffers. You can punch from that angle, but your head movement's going to be a little bit behind. You have to be careful.
Lands right after the right hand from Canelo. Rounds going into the bank for the middleweight champion of the world.
Absolutely. Demetrius Andrade, who owns the other piece of the middleweight crown, he's going to be on the post show as well. So a lot of good stuff coming up afterwards.
Daniel Jacobs comes out southpaw here in round 7. Chris Mannix, though, how do you have it scored so far? I'm saying Canelo is putting rounds in the bank. Do you agree with that?
I've got it 5 rounds to 1 in favor of Canelo Alvarez. I should say 3 of these rounds that I scored, asterisk, very close.
Canelo chasing Jacobs now, has him on the run.
And that's the thing, when you're not a natural left-hander, it's the defense that you're going to be falling behind with. You can punch from that angle, but defensively, that's where you're going to be in danger.
I just don't know if Jacobs has the stick, meaning just a strong enough jab to keep Canelo at bay. When Canelo, senses that you can't keep him out or you can't hurt him, he marches in. And you just cannot afford that. Much too much power from Canelo Alvarez. Jacobs stays left-handed.
See, that's what I want to see from Jacobs. You're not trying to land hard shots. You're just trying to touch him, and you're trying to keep your distance. Then you can land the big shots.
Canelo also with a good level of energy. I mean, we're in the 7th round. He's been able to conserve his strength. Complained there about the back of the head. They touch gloves and fight on. Jacobs very close there. Standing right in front of each other. Jacobs looks to open up.
Those are heavy body shots landed by Jacobs.
Jacobs looking for a better angle. Canelo, though, never really in any danger there on the ropes, looking to counter. But anything that changes the tide here has got to be something that's a little encouraging for Danny Jacobs. Jacobs lands with the left to the body, but it's Canelo who's stalking and looks to get him in the corner to hurt him.
Stalking and cutting off the ring with confidence.
Again, this is a champion in his prime. Canelo Alvarez has been a pro since 15. He's got 51 wins already. He's 28 years old. This is what it's like at the peak. He is peaking right now. He looks terrific. Another hook to the body by Alvarez. Answers with a hook as well.
I need you to refocus. What you did at the end of that round was fantastic. When you back him up, don't wait for the next step. Step, step, fire, step, step. You letting him get out of the range of it, then you end up reaching. I don't want you reaching. Go ahead.
That was your best round.
Look for the shot, look for the side shot. Work hard that left. Feint it, flex your body, flex your waist, touch him with the hands, all right?
Chris, your scorecard.
69-64 in favor of Canelo Alvarez. He just has been the aggressor throughout. He's landed the cleaner punches throughout. The southpaw stance for Danny Jacobs, it seems like he's doing his better work when he switches to orthodox. The jab is better, the power is better. Curious to see how it happens in the second half of the fight.
I agree with you, Chris. And by the way, CompuBox backing that up. Jacobs landed 15 jabs in rounds 1 and 2, and just 15 jabs over the last 5 rounds. Sergio, it just doesn't look strong enough, as now we see Jacobs moves back to the orthodox stance.
If Jacobs wants to win this fight, he has to stay active as an orthodox fighter, because he's not active enough as a southpaw. He needs to throw combinations, stick behind the jab with power punches and speed.
We just heard from Jacobs' corner there. We had it mic'd up and you could hear it. Claudia Trejos was in Canelo's corner. Claudia, what did you hear there?
Asking Canelo to keep feinting, keep putting pressure, work on that shoulder. Oddly enough, they want him to throw more punches to the body and forget about the head, but put pressure, keep the pressure on.
Claudia, thank you. I just think Canelo looks terrific. Look, he's not going to walk through this guy. Danny Jacobs, world class. He has one of the belts, very experienced, very determined. But I think Canelo Alvarez looks fantastic right now.
Yes, he does. The head movement is the most impressive thing that I've seen so far. I mean, he's just so cool in there. Even when it looked like Jacob landed a big punch, he rolled with that shot. He just turned his cheek. He was so confident in there. I mean, he looks amazing defensively and offensively, Canelo does.
And for Jacobs, can he slap it into another gear? He knows this is the opportunity of a lifetime. He told us, I've continuously had to prove that I'm the best middleweight in the world. Now I have an opportunity to show it. Well, these are the rounds. He's going to have to change something.
In Daniel Jacobs' corner, his trainer Andre Rozier said, okay, we need to refocus. We need to stay behind the jab and dig down to that body.
Jacobs staying close now. That right hand was blocked. Trying to the body now, a combination, bit of a flurry from Danny Jacobs. Good answer from Canelo. Now we mix it up. That hook landed by Canelo Alvarez. Snaps his head back again, but Jacobs is going to have to do something, and he might open himself up as well.
Like I said earlier, he has to get respect in order to beat this man in front of him, but you do not want to mix it up with Canelo on the inside.
Ooh, straight right hand by Canelo. Now to the body. But this is Jacobs' only chance. He's losing rounds. At least we believe he's losing rounds. So he has to stand there. He must do something different. But when he did, boy, Canelo looked dangerous. Exchanging hooks. Right hand missed. But Jacobs goes on the offensive. I give him credit. He's trying something different.
And I give him that round, in my opinion.
Standing in the middle waiting for him. That's unnecessary. Okay. If you're not going to punch, don't wait for him. Don't wait for him. Give me a deep breath. It's all about your rhythm. When you're flowing, just step around him when you don't want to work no more. Don't just wait for him to come back. We talking about this in practice.
I would say this was Danny Jacobs' best round, getting Canelo against the ropes, going to the body, upstairs. These are block punches, and the effective shot landed by Canelo right here was a left hook. Now, are you gonna count that one clean punch or the 20 punches that Jacobs landed? That's the thing that judges have to decide.
But this is how Canelo wins fights. He lands the clean, obvious shot that doesn't deflect off your gloves. I agree with you. Daniel Jacobs did some really nice things in that round, but those shots resonate that Canelo Alvarez is throwing.
How did you score that then, Chris?
I did lean towards Jacobs. The activity in that round made the difference.
Interesting in the corner for Danny Jacobs. Andre Rozier said, hey, don't stick around if you're not punching. That's good advice.
It's great advice because that's exactly what he needs to do. And here we see Daniel Jacobs turning southpaw again. He had success in an orthodox stance. Why turn southpaw?
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't see that working at all tonight. By the way, both fighters landing a fight high in punch totals in that last round, in round 8. Canelo with 27, Jacobs with 15. Danny Jacobs telling us, hey, I can beat Canelo. Skill, range, my IQ, be effective in my aggression. But standing there right in front of Canelo Alvarez and boxing is not going to do it. Canelo is younger, stronger, and just fundamentally too sound. Hard body shot by Canelo while they exchange. Hard body shot there by Canelo again. As we heard from the corner, Claudio Trejo saying that they're looking for the body attack. That will eventually start to break down Danny Jacobs. Alvarez just calm in this fight, wasting any energy. He's with these mega events 9 years ago when he was on a Floyd Mayweather undercard, Mayweather-Mosley. That was against Jose Cotto. He was there, he said he looked around, he was distracted. He knew immediately, whoa, I gotta focus. That was 9 years ago. He's had lots of practice, and you can see how calm he is. Wow, big shot by Jacobs. Snaps the head back by Canelo. He doesn't look hurt, but that certainly landed.
Canelo's the type of guy that's not going to show you he's hurt. He's too experienced, but that was a big shot landed by Jacobs. I'm positive that caught his attention.
That's the best shot from Jacobs, no question.
And I believe he did it in that orthodox stance where he's had the most success.
I tell you, Alvarez could take a punch. That was a solid punch by Daniel Jacobs, and he took it well.
Yeah, flush across the face. No question here. Final 30 seconds of round 9. Something for Danny Jacobs to work off of.
But is that enough to win the round? That's the question.
Well, that is the choice. And like for fans who say, well, Jacobs won that round. Wait a second. You've got to score every second of every minute of every round. Glenn Feldman, Dave Moretti, Steve Weisfeld will do that. And that one, even 2 good shots from Jacobs don't necessarily give that round to the challenger.
The best punch landed by Jacobs, but it looked like Canelo controlled the pace of the round.
He caught you with a good punch. What, the looping shot? Did you feel it? No, no.
We're in a great run here on DAZN. Heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua at Madison Square Garden making his U.S. debut. Andy Ruiz replacing Big Baby Miller June 1st at Madison Square Garden. They asked Canelo Alvarez, caught you with a good shot. Did you feel it? No, no.
Incredible.
No, no, no.
I heard that too. That was incredible. That was a big shot too, but he took it well. I mean, this is a man that has the complete package. He could take a big punch.
Championship rounds here, round 10, middleweight championship of the world. Canelo Alvarez has looked outstanding. I thought Chris Mannix, very good points by Sergio on that last round and how you scored. How did you score that last round?
Yeah, I gave that last round to Daniel Jacobs as well. 87-84, Canelo Alvarez on my card.
Both exchanged hooks, both came up short, but from the southpaw stance, that's the punch that I said earlier dropped me. It was a right hook. He's going for it again.
Jacobs jumps right back in, trying to seize the initiative. Just touching him with that hook, but trying to get some power on it now. Whacks him on the hip again. This time, he's eating a lot of shots there. This time, Jacobs able to hit Canelo on that left hip. Hard right hand. Canelo landed that. He was waiting for that. Shot it straight up the middle. If you look at Canelo's knockout reel, you see almost every type of punch. He can put you down with anything. Now back to jabbing, moving Jacobs back. Hit him with a hook, cuffed him with the hook. Now they exchange. Let's see if they let it fly. Sergio, at what point, if you are Daniel Jacobs, do you just let it fly and say, all right, I gotta go?
I think we're seeing flashes of that right now. There's a little change in Jacobs' bravado right now. He's standing a little bit in there. He's mixing it up. He's punching Canelo against the ropes. We're seeing the last hurrah here. We're letting it fly.
Right hands to the body and the head. Canelo fighting off the ropes with hard hooks.
And when he does that, Brian, it's shades of Canelo Golovkin 1, where he fought against the ropes. Look at the time Golovkin coming in, not having as much success. He does it in this one.
Good body shots there by Jacobs. As we get into the final minute, half minute of this round, round 10. You know, at a certain point, we've seen it many times, you have to make a decision. Whether you're just going to fight the same way and lose, but lose on your feet, or get after it and try to take the man out. But if you do so, you put yourself in danger.
Yeah, good point, Brian. And I think we're seeing that with Jacobs. He started off the round throwing a lot of punches. He landed another big shot on top of Canelo's head. Canelo took it well once again.
Jacobs leaning in, missed with the left hand.
অনিশো কি পাগলা গরম। আর এই চিপ করে দেখো, চুপকায় গেল পুরা। তোমার দেখতেছে না নাকি? ঠিক আছে, আপনি আবার পাশে বসছেন কেন? কোলে আসেন না, কোলে আসেন না, কোলে আমার কান্দে বসেন। গরমের বেল নাই, স্প্রাইট, জাস্ট কুল থাকো।
With those punches. Don't just look at them and wait, okay? We don't need that. I don't need you getting hit either. Slip. That's right.
Can Gennady Golovkin score these rounds in the shades? Come on, man. Boos for Gennady Golovkin because we are in the home of Canelo Alvarez here in Las Vegas. All these fans, Mexican fans, Southwestern fans, and just boxing fans. If you're a fan of the sport, if you're a fan of sports, you have to really admire Canelo Alvarez. Handles himself beautifully in all these moments, gives you a tremendous effort every time out, and is the premier boxing of the age.
The good boy Golovkin getting a bad reception from fans here. Maybe we're seeing Golovkin turn into the bad boy here. Maybe turn heel.
He's the enemy here, that's for sure. Yep. But you know these fans would love to see these two mix it up. If Canelo Alvarez can get past Daniel Jacobs. So far it looks like he will do that, unless Jacobs comes up with something dramatic. Just a matter of what can he do? What is he physically able to do now?
Look for Jacobs to look for something dramatic right here. There's a look in his face, and the last round was a good round for him too. So if he can have another big round here, maybe he can gain momentum. But is it too little, too late in the championship rounds?
Canelo still, again, with that stick jab. Good body work by Jacobs as he steps in.
It's a really good body shot there by Jacobs, but as we keep seeing, Canelo could take a big shot upstairs and downstairs.
That was right at the belt line by Jacobs. Tony Weeks with no warning there. Thought it was fine.
Power jab by Canelo. He's inching his way in. Right now they're stepping on each other's feet. They're battling for foot position because that's where he's getting the power from. Canelo is.
Crowd getting restless here in the 11th round. If you're Canelo or in Canelo's corner, I think you're fine with this pace. You've won most every round. You could make a case. Chris Mannix, how do you have it?
I think it's close, though, Brian. These last few rounds, Daniel Jacobs has turned it on, lands some of the cleaner shots. As I mentioned earlier, I think some of the earlier rounds were close, so these scorecards might be a little surprising.
And Jacobs fighting good in the inside right here. He's having a really good 11th round. This is the first time Jacobs has been coming forward. Now he has Canelo against the ropes.
Moving in, still in the southpaw stance, but now moves orthodox. Canelo moving, and I would agree with you here, Chris. I don't agree with all. I think the rounds that you've given to Jacobs, it doesn't feel particularly close. You're scoring it, at least trying to here while you're also commentating on the fight, and that's difficult. But this is one of the few rounds that I think this looks like a Jacobs round. Just not a lot of answer back from Canelo Alvarez in this round, although he scores with a right hand. Here in the final seconds, Canelo perhaps a little gassed.
I would say Jacobs won like 3 rounds, and there has been about 2 close rounds. So if those close rounds did go to Jacobs, then maybe it can be a close fight, like Chris says.
Fair enough.
Take a deep breath. Take that. Reset. Find it. We got 3 minutes to take this shit back to Brownsville. I want you to focus. Thank you, Tony. I want you to focus. How was that last round? Slow. Okay. But you're giving it back when you take it.
He's gonna come out and close hard with everything. Don't go to the ropes because it looks really bad. Now, if you're gonna use the combinations, get back with your defense real quick, okay? All right, it's the last round, so do it fast with speed.
They want to bring the belts back to Brownsville. If it goes the way it has here, it would seem all the belts are going to Guadalajara and San Diego.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, by way of MGM Resorts, welcome to the T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas, Nevada, USA, where tonight, Oscar de la Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions, in association with Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing USA, is proud to bring you 12 rounds of boxing for the middleweight championship of the world. Sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Chairman Anthony A. Monell III, Executive Director Bob Bennett, the World Boxing Council, President Mauricio Suleiman, Supervisor Dwayne Ford, the World Boxing Association, President Gilberto Jesus Mendoza, Supervisor Robert Mack, and the International Boxing Federation, President Darrell Peebles, Supervisor Randy Newman. This main event is presented by Tecate, the official beer of boxing. Hennessy, Never Stop, Never Settle, and Orange Crush knockout flavor. Pick up new Crush Watermelon at your favorite retailer today. At ringside, the three judges scoring: Dave Moretti, Glenn Feldman, and Steve Weisfeld. And in charge of the action at the bell, World Championship veteran referee Tony Weeks. And now, live on DAZN to the United States and to the United Kingdom exclusively on Sky Sports Boxing. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. It's champion versus champion. So for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, with his trainer, Andre Rozier. He's wearing black with red and green, officially weighing in at 160 pounds. His professional record, an excellent one. 35 victories, including 29 knockouts with 2 defeats. And he's a 2-time world champion from Brooklyn, New York, USA, the reigning, defending IBF middleweight champion of the world, Daniel Miracle Man Jacob. And across the ring, fighting out of the red corner with his trainers, Chepo and Eddie Reynoso, wearing white with gold, officially weighing in at 159.5 pounds. His professional record, 51 victories, including 35 knockouts. Only 1 defeat with 2 draws. He's a 3-division, 5-time world champion, the reigning, defending WBC, WBA, middleweight champion of the world, damas y caballeros, en Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, Saúl Canelo Alvarez.
Okay, let's get everybody. Okay, let's get everybody out. Let's go, everybody out here.
Okay, gentlemen, caballeros, you already received your instructions. Usted recibió instrucciones. Okay, right here is good, anything below that's low. Aquí está bien, aquí no. Right here is good, anything that's low. Aquí está bien, aquí no. I want a good, clean fight. You can't do around playing limpia. Obey my commands at all times, above all, protect yourself at all times. Escúchame, cuídate, listos, ready, let's go.
Tony Weeks, 25 years of experience, and as you see with Canelo Alvarez there, Chris Mannix, with that knee brace on his knee.
Yeah, you'll notice that sleeve. He wore it in the Rocky Fielding fight. It's because of discomfort he's been feeling since he started training for Fielding. For this fight, he did the least amount of road work in his career. It's serious enough that Canelo told him he plans to have it checked out after this fight. But this is a fight where he's going to have to be mobile. Will his mobility be limited here tonight?
This is what it's all about. You just don't know. Middleweight championship of the world. Canelo Alvarez defending against Daniel Jacobs. Both men can box. Both men like to slug. They can brawl or they can move. A lot of dimensions on both sides. Brian Kenny, Sergio Mora, Chris Mannix here ringside. Sergio, you've been in there twice with Daniel Jacobs. What are you looking for early on here in the first round?
Well, right now he's staying patient and poised with his elbows in. I notice his elbows are really in. Now, he gets powered by that, but I think he's doing that because he knows that Canelo is going to be looking at landing body shots.
Canelo in his last fight against Rocky Fielding just came through like a buzzsaw, but that was against a different level of competition in Rocky Fielding. He's also, though, at 168 pounds in the super middleweight division. Early on here, 1 minute in, and just a feeling out process, mutual respect from both fighters.
Neither one of these guys are huge volume punches either. They score their points on power shots, the both of them.
Both are methodical. Good jab work there by Daniel Jacobs. Gets in, touches him with a right hand. It's Canelo, though, with a hard right hand as he backs Jacobs up into the ropes. You see the size difference. Jacobs is the taller man, but there is just thudding power from Canelo Alvarez.
I like that stabbing jab that Jacobs is going downstairs with. It's a power stabbing jab to the Canelo's stomach.
Sergio, looks like both men are just trying to find distance at this point.
Both men are respecting each other, but they're keeping the fight in the middle of the ring right now. A lot of tension in the air, though.
No question. Jacobs trying to double up on the jab. Canelo round number one.
Jacobs makes his way right back to the middle of the ring. That's where he wants to stay this entire fight. And rounds like these where they're
Here comes Cotto marching forward. They told him you're fighting his fight. And I don't understand what that is. I mean, it should be a war of aggression, but the war of attrition is taking its toll on the champion.
Well, Cotto needs to get a rhythm back here, and he can start with the jab.
He had success early in the first round.
And there it comes. That's what he needs to just establish his rhythm again.
Because Pacquiao's too fast for him otherwise. Nice left jab from Cotto, but back comes Pacquiao combinations. And he's coming forward.
I thought if they stood and traded, Cotto would get the better of the exchanges due to the body attacks, but it's been the other way around.
It's exactly outslug the slugger. Pacquiao turning, looking for angles. Right hand. He's looking to line up that left, isn't he?
Much like he did with Ricky Hatton.
Absolutely. Cotto barrels forward behind the left hand. At least he's coming in punching. It's absolutely crucial that he does. He's going to walk into something big. Cotto southpaw again. Well, now he's squared up. Middle of the ring where Pacquiao wants to be. Let's see if he'll turn.
Pacquiao has not pressed his advantage in this round.
They've slowed down just a bit.
Yeah, he had him hurt. You're exactly right, Rich. And he's abandoned going to the body, which really slowed him down, I thought, in the round when he got the knockdown.
Close round and not quite the fierce tempo we saw in the prior round. Cotto's been on the floor twice. The champion, the underdog, fighting for his belt and maybe his career.
He should be roughing up Pacquiao right in this area. Pacquiao's taking the round off.
This is where he wants to keep the fight.
Well, Cotto was dazed in that other round, that last round, so he's got to pace himself.
Cotto's trying to bully him here a little, and I think it's the proper strategy for him to use.
But don't you think Pacquiao could fight all night? And I don't know about down the stretch with Cotto and stamina now. He's been rocked and hurt.
You know, but did all that drama in his camp, in the typhoons, the travel, the only really 3 weeks of training, is that going to catch up in the later rounds? That remains to be seen.
We'll see. If it goes later, Mario.
It's true, Nick.
End of 5. Close round.
Manny Pacquiao, the big right hand. Cotto plotting, abandoning the jab, which he was having success with. This is what I didn't want to see. The uppercut from Cotto. This is what, Freddie didn't want to see from Manny, him laying against the ropes, and he's been doing that a lot, and Cotto not taking the full advantage.
Round 6 coming up here at the MGM Grand. Manny Pacquiao, Miguel Cotto. Cotto's been dropped twice. Pacquiao, we have him, arguably had 48-45, guys?
That's what I have it at 48-45. I gave that last round to Miguel Cotto.
I did as well. Mario?
I have it 49-44. I still gave it to Manny because he seemed to answer everything Cotto was giving him. But I don't know why I still have the feeling that Cotto has the power still to end this with one shot.
He certainly does. He's got a slugger's chance, but I worry about this. I'm concerned about his stamina. Being down, being wobbled, being hurt, but he has gotten up and won before that way.
I'll tell you one thing. After seeing Miguel Cotto fight Ricardo Torres, I will never write him off in a fight.
That's true, because he said that's a
He had his world rocked, didn't he?
And by a big, big puncher.
Yep. But Pacquiao's inexhaustible. He's fighting a very measured fight. He really hasn't overextended anything in terms of energy. He's had his tremendous bursts, but very much in control is Manny Pacquiao on the left.
And that's a Pacquiao of old. Upstairs, downstairs, darting in, darting out. That's when he's the most effective.
Yeah, 3 shots here as Cotto can't dial in round 6.
This is such high-quality stuff. This is boxing at its highest level.
You're exactly right. And to see 2 champions, world-class, trade like this and really put on a show, it's the best for the sport. That's why this product is unbelievable.
Pacquiao has the champion on the ropes momentarily.
Yeah, I thought he dinged him there a little bit.
And you know, it's funny. It's odd that Cotto's been southpaw more times in this fight than most already. But he is fighting a southpaw and hasn't been effective changing over, trying to land that left from the southpaw position just to close distance. Pacquiao having a better round than Cotto here, don't you think?
Oh yeah, he's been active this round. I thought he kind of took that last round off.
A lot of steam has been taken from Cotto.
I agree, Mario.
A lot of steam. Beautiful body shot. Those are those sneaky body shots. There's another one. I'm telling you.
Is Cotto wearing down as we approach the halfway mark of a scheduled 12-rounder? He's been dropped twice. And there's no question he's behind in this fight, as Manny Pacquiao tries to take a title at a 7th weight class.
Cotto cut, bleeding.
And backing up.
And when he uses the jab, very effective.
Cotto adjusting here a little bit. Maybe it's starting to employ a different strategy.
And he's been very good recently, Rich, at making adjustments and doing what he has to do to win.
Oh, he got hit flush. Flush from the left hand. And Pacquiao's holding on to him.
And possibly, and big shot by Cotto.
Big return fire from Cotto, but a big round from Manny Pacquiao.
And a smile from Manny Pacquiao as he goes to the corner. Round 7 should be interesting.
Cotto's face beginning to take on a very jaded look here now as Cotto came through, and that was a quality left hook that Miguel landed, driving Pacquiao back, as you can see, thrown with speed and really a lot of power.
Pacquiao answering with a big shot that really rocked Cotto at the end of the round.
Isn't that ironic, though, guys? They're telling Cotto, get off the ropes. That's what Pacquiao's game should be. For me, Cotto should take Pacquiao to the ropes, but they don't want him on the ropes. They want him to box.
It is.
Try to land that hook. I sense that that sense of desperation now. They got to land a big punch. Cotto. Pacquiao's just got to keep boxing the way he is. He's landing enough power shots.
This fight, and because of 24/7, really generated a lot of interest from outside of the boxing world. Hence, the office pool at my work. And I've got the 7th round.
Here comes Pacquiao on big. Cotto trying to time that rush, but Pacquiao far busier and more effective even in this 7th.
And you can hear those shots.
Back came Cotto with a left hook. He's southpaw again. Now he's orthodox.
Nick, he's impressing me with the shots he's been able to take. Because Cotto's landed some pretty solid shots, and Pacquiao's taken well, which was a big concern.
Yes. First round, we said it was different. It appeared that welterweight power was forging to the forefront for Cotto. He looked like a big, powerful guy that was getting Manny's attention and respect.
It just seemed like he was trying to figure out the way to attack, and he figured it out.
He did.
You're
All
exactly
angles.
right, Rich.
Look, all fresh angles, new punching opportunities for Manny Pacquiao. And Cotto is southpaw again, and he gets hit on the way in. He's leaning into punches now, and now he's walking back and getting driven back.
Yeah, Manny looks like he's warming up, though, again.
Absolutely. He's chasing him down.
Yeah, he's the aggressor now. Cotto's, the fight is completely switched here. Cotto is the guy backing up and trying to box.
It's the height of irony.
And Cotto is breathing with his mouth wide open.
Cotto's throwing single shots infrequently. When's the last time we saw a right hand from Miguel Cotto? Cotto now on the jab, trying to turn Pacquiao. Pacquiao trying to time him.
Cotto trying to pull a Tommy Hearns when Hearns fought Ray Leonard, when their roles reversed in that fight dramatically in the 7th round.
Here comes Cotto with a combination.
Combination that worked earlier in the fight. Manny blocked it this time.
And he's trying to line up that left again, it seems.
Beautiful corners.
Left hand from Cotto. This is I thought it was a close round in some regard, but who'd you have do enough to sweep by in that one?
Well, I thought Pacquiao won the round.
Yeah, just enough, I thought.
Very close round, though.
Cotto's got to play serious catch-up.
Ginawag lalom, ginawag lalom. Ginawag lalom. Ginawag lalom lang.
Keep circling him.
Miguel, ¿cómo sientes?
How do you feel, Miguel? He said he feels good.
All right, we take a look. There's the speed of Pacquiao. See how that tells? He was able to get off 3 punches very quickly before Cotto could even react. There, another double combination. Tremendous speed by Pacquiao, telling many points in this fight.
Cotto's trying everything. He's been southpaw numerous times to no avail. Now they want him to box and circle the ring. He's fallen hopelessly behind, guys.
Well, he's well behind, but I don't have a feeling that he's out of the fight.
Right. I was just about to say that he's behind, but not out of it, and he's telling his corner he's fine. And he's good, but his face is telling a different story.
But do you think not out of it because he has a puncher's chance, or that he could box his way back in? I think he's running out of rounds to do that.
I think he's running out of rounds, but history shows that he's been able to make adjustments before, and he still has that puncher's chance.
Yeah. Punch, that's what I mean. He's got to knock him out.
I still think Cotto could win the fight on points, but I think he would need to score a knockdown along the way to do that.
Well, absolutely that. Boy, Pacquiao very much, again, in control. Very measured aggression. He'll fight in bursts, though. He eats a left hand there, but it's a single shot. Cotto's got to come back with the right.
But Miguel's finding a rhythm with his legs now.
Yeah, that's one of the adjustments we're talking about that he's made. He started just in this 7th round, being more on his toes, staying on the outside, picking his shots. I don't know if he's being effective, but he's surviving.
He got his arm up in time to block that shot by Pacquiao.
You know, Pacquiao doesn't have some great inside game, but he's just so quick that the fresh angle's there for him. But look at Pacquiao walking to the champion.
The smaller man walking him down.
Moving him to the ropes. Big left hand, which he's tried to line up all night.
And this is the very same arena and ring where Cotto suffered his last defeat. Will it be deja vu?
There you go. Cotto with no head movement. He may be moving his feet, but he's still a target. Left hook to the body by him. So Pacquiao with that burst of firepower, winning this round as well, it would appear. There's the right hand from Cotto. Tries a combination.
Cotto had a great first minute, too, in this round.
Pacquiao combinations land. Cotto in retreat. He's on the ropes now. And Pacquiao with 3 shots after 3 shots. The faster man and standing up to the power of the purportedly bigger guy.
And the role's been reversed as far as the aggressor getting against the ropes. And Cotto
Another one for Pacquiao, huh, guys?
Manny Pacquiao putting Cotto up against the rope, unleashing combinations, just missing with the body shot there. Nice counter, left hook by Cotto, strongest punch. Pacquiao taking it very well.
Cotto bleeding, and he's bleeding in the eye, the same gash that Joshua Clottey, in the Joshua Clottey fight early. Will that be a factor? It's pretty late in the fight now. We don't think so. But Cotto needs a knockout.
And these rounds are flying by, gentlemen. We're in the 9th round.
Wow. It's hard to believe, isn't it?
Oh, Nick, I can watch him fight all night.
There's body work. We haven't seen that in a while from Cotto.
They want Miguel to keep moving, and it's not a bad idea. He did good. He seemed to find a rhythm, but he's got to throw the jab when he moves. He can't just move. Just dancing and not throwing will not win him the fight.
He might survive, but he won't win.
Knockdowns or knockout. Multiple knockdowns or knockout at this point, guys. You know, does he have the strength at this point?
Cotto's problem is he starts strong almost in every round. He fights a good minute, minute and a half, but it's always Pacquiao that comes on.
Pacquiao, from what I hear in sparring too, the problem is he's quick to make adjustments, and then he just overwhelms you with his counter, so it's hard for you to counter that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think Cotto got stung.
He comes.
I saw him back off, and I saw a little look on his face.
Yes. His nose is really bleeding now. Cotto's face showing
Pacquiao is zeroing in now. All about aggression. This could turn into a war of attrition right now.
A couple of big power shots just missed. A lot of time left in this 9th round.
Pacquiao's work rate has been so measured. Oh, and now the champion absorbing punches. It could turn into a systematic beating unless the champion could turn things around. And now he's wobbled badly and holding on. As Pacquiao launched a furious assault.
A minute left, gentlemen.
That's a long minute for Miguel Cotto.
Stay on his feet. And to get out of this fight, get to the next round. We'll see. He's trying to get his legs. He's on the ropes.
Oh, and a big combination by Miguel.
Oh,
yeah, but this is a beatdown now, Mario.
It is. It's systematic. Pacquiao looking for the evening-ending combination. Half minute to go in the 9th. Coming at him from all angles, but punching when he wants.
Pacquiao asking him to come forward with the tap of the gloves.
Another flurry. Drives the champion
Boy,
back.
look at the face. It looks terrible on Cotto. He's getting all puffy, bruised all over.
They might stop it in the corner.
He's got to fight back.
This is close to a 10-8 round without a knockdown.
Absolutely.
An overwhelmingly dominant round by Manny Pacquiao, taking complete control of the fight, doing it there with speed and combinations, leaving Cotto no choice but to do anything but just defend himself. He really couldn't fire back in this round as he was in previous rounds. Look at Manny just exploding. They're not all landing, but the speed is there, and Cotto can't answer.
And that's exactly what I was talking about earlier, guys, is the overwhelming punches that you just don't either have time or no reason to want to answer them.
Well, Cotto's corner made it emphatically clear. They're getting a one more round, but Cotto's a guy who's had to do it on his own and make adjustments and overcome adversity. It's a very deep, precarious hole he's in now. Down twice, wobbled badly, beaten up systematically. Maybe 3 rounds to go if he gets back into the fight and wins this.
And I got to tell you, the first 30 seconds of this fight, I really thought we'd be seeing a different fight at this point.
Wow, wasn't that a punctuation point, Mario?
I think more just all the credit with Pacquiao making a beautiful adjustment, psychologically maybe, as well as in the game plan.
He didn't rattle at all, did he?
You know, I really thought coming into this fight that the tumultuous nature of the camp of Manny Pacquiao this time, the 3 different training sites, the discord within his camp with people not getting along, that it might have an effect, and it just hasn't shown itself at all. It hasn't worked.
It take its toll.
He's a machine. He's a machine.
Rocky 3 will not come to fruition, it seems, tonight.
Yeah, he loves the fight, doesn't he? All right, Cotto trying to box now. He needs to land that power punch. He's knocked people down with jabs. He's knocked people out with the hook, with the right hand. He needs it all now.
He looks like he's trying to gather himself for one big assault.
Yeah. Pacquiao moving forward. Hasn't looked crisp this round, but
I think Miguel would like to start something with that big left hook of his.
He's got to ignite something offensively. Who knows how he feels, how tired, how exhausted.
Well, he's moving around like he's had a lot of energy, and I think Manny's just waiting for him to settle a little bit. It's almost like a matador waiting for the bull to slow down for the final slay. He's tired of running.
I think Pacquiao could fight all night, can't he? Half minute to go in the 10th. And we'll go to the corners and see at least the champion has found himself a little bit. And will they let him go to the 11th? It appears so.
Well, he didn't get hurt any worse in this round.
And he gathered himself a bit. But he didn't even win it, it would seem. Freddie Roach hasn't had to tell Manny Pacquiao much.
Boo Boy Fernandez, translator, friend, confidant.
These 3-minute rounds must seem like 30-minute rounds to Cotto at this point. Complete role reversal, and it happened before the halfway mark of this fight.
Now, is it a matter of just pride now, Cotto finishing on his feet, as opposed to really trying to win this fight in the last 6 minutes? Because if he does what his corner's asking him to do, which is box like he did the last round, that's not going to win you the round or the fight.
So, you know, how do you land the left hook that hasn't landed much of the night? How do you suddenly land it? He's got to start by throwing it.
He's feints by Manny Pacquiao.
You know, I think the in terms of the punch count and the rate is way down for both guys in this fight. And credit Pacquiao, he's controlled this pace the entire fight. There he goes when he wants.
There's that body
when he wants. He got caught coming in there, but he's full of fight now, halfway through the 10th.
Cotto was just trying to pick a spot.
Well, look, Pacquiao fighting him when he wants, coasting when he wants. It's all him.
Cotto just has not been able to offer much in return in the last couple of rounds.
No, it's turned into survival mode.
That's exactly what it is. I mean, he's moving well. His legs are still strong.
And the crowd just waiting for an end, you know, for an end. For the flurry of the punch that ends it.
And I don't think Miguel believes he can pull it off anymore.
It's no. He had that look on his face in the corner where he wants to maybe just have a moral victory by ending it on his feet at this point.
No, nothing's working, guys. Nothing.
Manny.
And that's just a stare down. Wow. The bigger man has surfaced tonight. He's in red.
Rich, I know they're totally different fighters, but assuming deal can be made, anything you've seen tonight give you indication that Pacquiao can handle himself with Mayweather.
Sure. Funny.
And Manny's going to try to close this out in a big way.
I would think so. 3 minutes to go.
And there he goes.
Pacquiao is all over him.
It looked like they were trying to stop the fight when they came into the ring, but Kenny Bayless was collecting the cards and didn't see them waving it off.
One of the photographers was actually on the apron saying, "Congratulations," and Kenny had his face turned.
Well, now we're in the 12th, needless to say. And Manny is in the house as the champ lifts up from every seat in the house, it would seem. The Puerto Rican crowd has gone silent. Stinging combinations of Kenny Bayless calls it off.
Round knockout for Manny Pacquiao.
When will it ever end for Pacquiao? There is no limit, it seems, to what this man can do.
I said it.
As he's now welterweight champion of the world.
Nick, I said it after the Ricky Hatton fight. I'll say it again, and I feel even stronger about it. We are looking at one of the all-time greats. This guy stands with the greats in the great pantheon of boxing in any decade, in any era. Manny Pacquiao stands tall. He is one of the all-time greats.
7-division champion from flyweight to now welterweight. Hottest fighter on the planet. There is no doubt. Number 1 pound for pound. Who can argue that? Electrifying win once again over a megastar.
Speed tells.
Absolutely, and he used it.
But once again, speed mixed with power, and that speed helps his power.
Absolutely. I don't think he wasted anything, Rich. You know, he didn't go out there and try to throw 100 punches around, and he didn't have to. That smile on the face again as he hugs Bob Arum, his promoter. And for the vanquished champion, this will be a holiday season of deep reflection, Rich.
Well, Miguel Cotto had some great moments. First round he fought brilliantly, but then the second round he took that knockdown and it kind of threw him off. And the fourth round he definitely got hurt.
Guy after guy, you know, star after star, though, gets chopped down and taken out by this man Pacquiao.
Too much speed, too many shots. Kenny Bayless realized it in the end. Pacquiao coming, landing strong shots. Bayless jumped in. He didn't want to see Cotto take any more punishment. Just too many shots. It really wasn't any harder or more dramatic than any of the other punches, but Kenny realized that enough is enough.
You know, Rich, and the tribute to the winner is that the guy who lost did everything he could right, it seemed. He didn't do anything wrong, from his training to his strategy and tactics, but it just didn't work against this man, as it usually doesn't. Manny Pacquiao is on top of the boxing world. He came in a near 3-1 favorite. We questioned that, but he dominated in that fashion.
Referee Kenny Bayless steps in to call a halt to this contest. The official time, 55 seconds of round 12, the final round, the winner by TKO victory, and new WBO welterweight champion of the world, the fighting pride of the Philippines, Manny Pacquiao.
Fabulous night for boxing, but I think a great night for boxing, Rich, in that
Tail of the tape for Manny Pacquiao against Antonio Margarito. You see the 1-year age advantage for Pacquiao. 4.5 inches of height advantage for Margarito. Shockingly, only a ½ inch of arm length advantage when the arms are measured from the armpit to the end of the fist. Pacquiao has extraordinarily long arms for his height. Manny Pacquiao chose to come in light. Weighed in at 144.6 yesterday and has gone up only to 148 overnight. Antonio Margarito followed his plan. Starched himself to make 150, rehydrated up to 165 overnight. You see the number and the 17-pound functional weight advantage that Margarito will carry into the ring. Live at ringside and turning now to Emmanuel Stewart. Emmanuel, if you had been charged with the responsibility of training Antonio Margarito for the difficult task of fighting Manny Pacquiao tonight, what plan would you have given him?
To take advantage of that tremendous physical size that he has. He's not only taller, but much heavier. Put a lot of pressure on him. Tight defense and shoot punches up through the center. But he must put a lot of pressure. He cannot fight at a distance because Manny Pacquiao has great reflexes and one of the few boxers that I've saw in history that can get you in exchanges and knock you down, because not only will he make you miss, but he lands punches as soon as he lets you miss.
Does Margarito have a chance? Pacquiao's a 5-1 favorite.
I think the odds should be a little closer to that, just merely on the fact that he's a big man. There's about 2 or 3 weight differences. I think that Pacquiao should be favored, but not by no 4 or 5. I think that Margarito does have a chance, yes.
All right. Max Kellerman, ever since the beginning of modern boxing, when John L. Sullivan said, I can lick any sumbitch a lot, no sport has so succeeded in creating indelible cultural figures. From Jack Johnson and Jack Dempsey, through Joe Louis to Muhammad Ali, and now Manny Pacquiao. How big is Manny Pacquiao?
Well, he's definitely the biggest flyweight ever. Pacquiao is so big, he's now drawn 2 huge crowds to Dallas Cowboys Stadium this year. And I've even noticed the writing about Pacquiao is excellent, the sports writing about him. He attracts, as a subject, good writers and forces the rest to raise their game. It's as though something so special demands more of those in its orbit. He's going to demand more than Margarito has shown in recent fights. But even if Margarito doesn't bring more, we're in for a showcase of one of the greatest fighters who's ever lived, and he still looks at this moment like he's in his prime. I just love watching Pacquiao fight.
And now let's get ready for both fighters to come into the arena, and we'll talk